Trevor Lawrence fired back at the critics with just 10 days to go until the NFL draft. The Falcons are doing their due diligence on quarterbacks. Will they draft Trey Lance at number 4? And Zion took a bite out of the Big Apple this weekend. Will he be the next great New York Nick? Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds. Nick, you in on the next great Nick free agent chase of Zion?
No, I'm not in on it. I hate this story. I'm not happy with Zion for giving life to this story. Enjoy the Knicks. They're playing well.
All right, we'll get to the Knicks. We start with the Nets. 2 losses for the Nets yesterday. They were down in Miami. First, Kevin Durant. Again, he had to leave in the first quarter with a thigh injury on this drive to the bucket. Kevin Durant will be re-examined today. And then, after losing KD, Nets lost the game itself. Bam Adebayo to beat the buzzer and beat the Nets. This was a heck of a game down late, but the focus after the game, after the Nets loss, was all on Kevin Durant. Here's Kyrie Irving.
Anytime one of our teammates goes down, anytime something like that happens, it's definitely going to take a hit for us. And he's just gotten back. So we just pray that it's not too serious and he's able to recover. But it definitely has a hit on our continuity at times. But we don't want to make any excuses for each other. We're all professionals, guys that are getting minutes right now. We need them. So it's gonna turn eventually, but we just gotta kind of find that continuity, that connectivity from the start of the game to the end.
All right, so, Brandon, KD's missed 33 of 57 games. James Harden is out. Kyrie's been in and out of the lineup. Is it fair to be concerned about the Nets' continuity here?
No, Jenna. I mean, this story isn't new. We're talking about 3 guys that only played 7 games together, 183 minutes, and they're still sitting right there underneath the 76ers. So if the story isn't new and they're winning at a high level, why should they be concerned? Right now, what they got to do is continue to embrace the next man up mentality. Now, when you get to the playoffs, obviously you want these guys to be together. You want everybody to be full tilt. You want everybody to be healthy. But the story of the story is they're not healthy. They're not playing together. Every team has their one thing, Nick, and their one thing right now is they can't all be healthy or get healthy at the same time. So they have to continue to embrace next man up mentality, and they'll see where they're at in the playoffs, Nick. But I'm not concerned because they're winning at a high clip right now.
Well, they had been winning at a high clip, but now they've lost 2 of 3, and the one that they did win was it what? Well, yeah, but Brandon, those 2 games are going to be why they're the 2 seed. Those 2 games are going to be why they're not the 1 seed. Why they start against the playoffs in Miami, and then they play Milwaukee as opposed to having Charlotte, and then the Atlanta or Boston potentially in the second round. So those 2 games are going to matter. And you're right that almost every team is dealing with something. What's unique for Brooklyn is they have been dealing with their something from the start of the year to as we sit here today in the middle of April. They've never been fully whole. And the guy they most need on this entire team is that guy. And that guy has played 25 basketball games in the last 700 days, and 4 of those 25 he has left due to injury. And that's the guy they most need to, and really the only guy they know they should be able to rely on in the postseason. James Harden is one of the greatest regular season players in the history of the league, has a, call it checkered at best postseason resume. Kyrie Irving missed the playoffs until he teamed up with LeBron, and then in 2015, injured for the playoffs. In 2018, injured for the playoffs. In 2020, injured for the playoffs. So that's 3 of his 6 potential playoff runs. Kyrie was not available for them. And then there's KD, who is, in my opinion, still clearly the 2nd best player in the world and has not looked like Kevin Durant since he was dropping 50 a night, it felt like, on the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, it's concerning, Wilds, and it has all but guaranteed they are not going to get the 1 seed, which I feel absolutely will matter in the East this year. So, at some point, it's got to be concerning, and I think we have reached that point.
I totally agree with you. It's so concerning. I have decided to downgrade, Brandon, the Nets Big 3 to the Nets Big 2 with an asterisk, and it's fine. It's just like if you had an electric bike, right? If you start saying, like, that's a slow motorcycle, it's like, no, no, no. It's a fast bike. We got 1 star and something else. You just got 2 great players. So I know they only played 7 games as the Big 3, but they're 20-6 with the dynamic duo. What that duo is, I'm not sure. And to speak about the continuity, Nick, if they all do get healthy, which I still think they're a dynamic duo, but if they all get healthy, I am throwing the continuity stuff out the window for this reason. If just randomly, by some odd rule that Adam Silver decided to pass, and the Bucks were in on it and the Lakers were in on it, all of a sudden, at the beginning of the playoffs, Giannis is added to the Lakers roster. What? Giannis is on the Lakers now? Like, yup, Giannis is on the Lakers, and he's going to play. Would anyone on the planet say, what about continuity? Oh, they played 0 games
that's
together.
That's not it, though.
What about continuity?
Wilds, that's the
Too
wrong
much
comparison.
Talent. What about
that's
continuity?
That's the wrong comparison.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's the wrong comparison. The right comparison is if all of a sudden they said Giannis, Bradley Beal, and Zion. You're on a team together with role players. Because it's not adding 1 guy to a group that's been playing together all year. That's what Giannis to the Lakers would be. It's putting together a team that... How many games has the Big 3 played with Blake? Oh, none. It actually hasn't, or 1 maybe. It hasn't happened. What about all of a sudden the emergence of Claxton as an important guy? Is DeAndre Jordan in or out of the lineup? Who knows on any given night? Like, these are all, we have LaMarcus Aldridge, then he retires, and all the best to him is dealing with his health. But they haven't played together. And Brandon, it feels to me like, and it's fine, but nothing will concern you. Because it hasn't been good.
Well,
what's happened since the Philly game hasn't been good.
Listen, you know, because I still have my athlete hat on. As an athlete, you know, and when you're in that locker room, you're trained, look, next man up mentality, you're trained, just deal with what you have going on. And this is what the deal is. So they are winning. I don't know what else I can say, right, to help drill this point in. I've been saying it for weeks, but you guys keep talking about defense. You guys keep talking about the chemistry, the continuity. You guys keep talking about, you know, how all 3 of these guys aren't playing. Like, there's so many different excuses. And for me, as an athlete, all I think about is winning. And they are winning. So if we go back to November, December, when James Harden, if we go back to November, December, when James Harden first said, hey, I want to go to Brooklyn. And then this whole conversation started. Everybody said there's no way it would work. Why? Because they don't play defense and they're all ball dominant. But right now they're sitting number 2 in the East. Is this a success or not? They are winning. So yes, they lost 2 out of the last 3, but those 2 matter.
But Brandon, let me ask you this.
It does matter, but we're talking about big picture.
If at the end of the year,
go ahead.
I get it, big picture. If at the end of the year, when it's all done, they finish 2nd in the East, is that a success? And because I don't think you would say so. It's like, oh,
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Compared to the conversation that we had in November and December, if
Brandon,
you're talking about going into the playoffs as the number 2 seed.
No, not going into the playoffs.
Nick.
No. At the end, they lose in the conference finals. I'm saying they actually finish 2nd in the East. They don't make the finals.
Okay,
they finish. Okay. Is that a success?
No, it's not a success.
No, you wouldn't say that's
because
right.
Well,
that's what they're barreling towards.
Right. Because
also, there's a difference with chemistry and continuity between winning a game and winning a series when you have a team that can watch you for a couple games and try to figure out what it is you're doing. All right, we gotta take a turn, talk about Zion. A lot going on with him over the weekend. He got his first experience going up against the Knicks in New York, but is he destined to one day play for the Knicks.